Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Not Too Comic Book. This being a show, we're talking about TV shows that are adaptations of comic books. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the latest episode of The Walking Dead World Beyond. A lot of really interesting things went down in this episode, so let's break it down. So immediately picking up where the last episode left off, we have Huck and Hope showing up in the perimeter, and it's a situation where obviously Hope and Iris are happy to see each other, but it did turn into a conversation like, cool, you need to come back with us. It's like, no, we're not going anywhere, especially because at the same time, Will and Felix come back, but Felix tells Will to stay back because it's like, right, they don't know where you are. In fact, they actually think you're dead, so we need to keep it that way. So he goes to see kind of the lay of the lands and see what's up, but now it turns into a conversation about like, okay, so you guys have to come with us. Obviously, Dad, he's okay, he's good, but if we don't, he's going to keep worrying about stuff and he's going to start stirring up problems that could end up getting him hurt. But Iris and Felix have no intention to go to the Republic because they don't trust him. It's like, yeah, like the whole Omaha situation, which now it's like, because it never crossed Hope's mind. It crossed Iris's mind to the point even Will agreed, like it did cross his mind. It would explain also like why they would want him dead before he ended up finding out the truth. He was getting him in was it Ramos or Ramon were like getting a little too close to that truth, hence why they were trying to kill them. But obviously shows you that Jennifer, or Huck, was completely in the dark, obviously. It kind of felt like that way. I figured she probably didn't know, but now it's like both her and Hope are hearing that, which she's like, no, that doesn't make any sense. The Republic's about saving the world. Why would they kill like thousands of people like that? And it's like, I don't know. You don't understand the Republic more than any of us. You're mixed up in this, considering it was like your mom who most like, because for her, it's like, there's no way it could have happened because my mom would have known and my mom would never like sanction something that. And I love that line from Felix. I don't think it was in that argument, but it was a later argument. Whatever the case may be, it's a situation of you spent most of your life being a liar. What makes you think she's any different? It's like, I kind of got you there. It's like you fostered so much. You fostered a life and so many friendships and bonds through lies. Your manipulation just to get close to Hope to get her back to the CR, but you know. So it's like, can you really say that your mom isn't above doing the same thing, keeping you out of the know? Because people even being like, oh, didn't you want to tell, Jennifer the truth? But it's like, no, she didn't need to know because her mom, I think her mom was trying to like, right, like she knew that her daughter would not co-sign that, but it's like, right, it's a necessary evil for whatever they're really trying to like, for whatever purpose, like why you would need to go through so much to wipe out so many people, whether it's you need more test subjects, the more dead that are out there, like there aren't plenty enough dead. So it's like, maybe it's just a situation, I don't know. Can't have other places out there outside of your control, large quantity of places eating up resources that you could be using for the betterment of the future. So you have to wipe them out and take their stuff. That's been my justification, not justification, my thought of why they would justify what they do. It's still not getting a clear answer on why that is. But the entire conversation never leads to the Percy or Elton situation, because it's like, right, don't want to know they're here, that's too much of an issue, because Elton's avoiding Hope, and I was like, oh right, I can't believe I let it slip my mind. I was like, right, his mom, right. And so for like him, he's like panicking and he avoids being around Hope. They never actually get a chance to see each other. Like obviously it was an accident, she was a little girl, she didn't mean to do it, but for him it's the thing of, yeah, he believed that his mom and sister were some out there alive, and he believed all that. And obviously being around Hope, it's like, I'm sure what cuts it even deeper is because he got close to Hope. They think, oh, this is a friend, like we're a band of misfits together, we're family. And to find out like she's known for a while about your mom and still didn't say anything too, that cuts deeper. I mean, granted, it just all sucks. I don't know if it adds extra layers to the wound because they got so close and she knew the entire time and didn't say anything. Well, a good chunk of time it didn't say anything, or whether even that's not even processed or crossing his mind. So he goes off and he finds a stash of like medical supplies, and it turns out the CRM is giving that supplies to Asha's mom to help her with like her dialysis. And it's like, right, we can't let anyone know. And so Asha's like, yeah, like, you got to keep this a secret, which he is. But obviously we find out at the end it's not her, it's actually her mom. Because I think for her sake, if it turns out like, wait, you're making a side deal with the CRM about like, oh, doing something that benefits you and not the entire collective. It's like, because it brings in question her leadership. It's like, can we really trust you if you're all making deals on your own, something that's going to benefit you? Yes, it's something medical like this, but it's like, right, if you're getting this, what are you giving them in return for this side deal? It's kind of like the big question. I mean, I wonder, is that why they were able to move in the first place? Is this like one of the big contributing factors? But it's also like, right, as a leader, she has to show strength. And if they see that she's sick or showing any sign of weakness, that's when people, like, all of that will lead people to, like, turning against her. So she's got to keep up appearances, and that's why Asha's like, no one's going to find out. That's why I told Elton it was me that was getting dialysis. He won't betray me, you know, especially if he like you. But like, they've gotten close enough that like, at least with Asha, like, it's a guarantee, like, he won't do that to betray me or hurt me. So if anything, probably telling him that it was for your mom probably would have been even more. It would have been even like, but she didn't know about his mom at the time, so before she came out the line and said it was hers. But if she knew after the fact, it's like, right, Elton would probably keep that secret doubly so, knowing it was her mom because of his circumstances with his mom. But obviously that gets into a whole conversation, which we've had that conversation recently in like Midnight Mass about death. Without, not really a spoiler, but it's just a conversation about like what people believe in the after. Like, Elton comes from it from a very scientific standpoint of like, right, you kind of just like reduced to just compounds, and it's like, yeah, but what happens to those compounds when they return to the earth? And Elton just kind of doesn't think much of it. It's just like, when you're dead, you're dead. But she's like, no, like, it feeds the plants, which feeds creatures. It's like every little bit of you extend, like, you get carried on, and all these things nourishing the circle of life, essentially. But Elton's like, yeah, but even then, we have no proof that consciousness continues after that, which for her, it's like, it doesn't, you know, it's like, we don't know that, sure, but she's like, I have a little faith. Just like killing the dead, she believes that their souls are trapped in there. So is that true? No. I mean, but there's been that conversation. I mean, we had that conversation early in season 2 on the farm of The Walking Dead with Herschel, keeping all those people out because he believed that they were still in there somewhere, but they're not. Like, once they're gone, they're gone. But the belief that, hey, maybe there's souls in there, by killing the dead, we're releasing them. Is that true? No, but I like to have some faith in believing that they're able to finally rest once the dead are dead again. You know, that's that's the state they need to be in to heal to allow these people to move on and, you know, pass on. So, but obviously you have Hope and Felix. Well, no, let's Hope and Iris talking about what to do next. It's like, come back to the, you know, it's like, right, we had the facilities, brings up Mason. Oh, Dad's got a girlfriend. It's like, what? Yeah, no, I'm serious. Dad's got a girlfriend. So he is happy. He's not happy about the CRM, but at the very least, if you come back, we can at least be together. Because if we're out, like, if you're out here in the wild, like, it's going to take forever to get, like, you will never be able to get close to the CR like you would want to. And it's like, with this, we can have the time necessary to be behind the walls, but it's like, there's so many other contributing factors to this. It's like the whole Will situation. They would never be able to, well, because at the time, Iris didn't want to tell her. And it's like, the question is, why didn't she? I guess because Hope was so hopeful that I guess Iris didn't want to take that away from her. It's like, at least, like, she's against the CR, sure, but the problem, like, something Iris learned about her sister, she thought, like, oh, her sister would kind of go full-blown, do anything for the fight. She always figured, for justice, like, that, like, you know, with Percy's situation, of like, willing to do it, going a little bit further than others for the sake of justice. Like, she thought that about her sister, but her sister's, like, reserved and, like, right. Because usually Iris would be the one that's like, let's think this through, whereas Hope is like, no, let's take that time to stop. It's like, think it through. Because despite everything, it's like the CRM, like, the facilities and everything would help, but also more so than anything, she just wants her family together in one place so she doesn't have to worry about her sister, you know. But, you know, Iris is like, I can't. And she's like, you can, you should, and you can, but you won't. And she's like, I get it. Like, what this means to you. Like, you have to do what you believe is right, and Hope's got to continue, you know. And she's going to be worried about her, but at the end of the day, they are going to find a way. It's like, I'm going to find a way to get you and Dad out of the CRM's grip. But how, who knows? But it is it is interesting, like, right, that they are kind of still like on opposite sides of this thing, like have to be under these circumstances. Like Hope like left, just because she was like, right, this is what I need to do, but they don't realize like they're underestimating us, like, and it's like, here we are having an opportunity, like now we can come together, like, Dad will stop worrying and at least keep him in line. But Iris is like, tell Dad, but it's like, well, obviously Hope can't. Because if their dad finds out about her, like it's gonna be interesting to see what Hope says, if she says anything, like, because she might not say anything at all, because like letting her dad know like she is okay won't do anything, because he's still gonna be like, wait, she's out there, wait, she's not where the CRM says. It's gonna be a whole thing. He's already dealing with the fact is that, like, well, for one, Hope already has to lie to him, but maybe for her it's like, right, it's a lie to keep everyone safe. So even if I have to, I'm already lying to him, so what's one more lie on top of it? Which, I mean, eventually it's going to become too much. It's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back type of situation. But at the same time, they're having their conversation. Felix is talking to Huck about everything, and she's bringing it up. She's like, I want to bring this up in front of, like, Leo nor Hope knows this, and she brings up the Mike situation, and he's just like, stop, because obviously, like, not Mike, Will situation is like, well, he knows the truth, but she doesn't. So I don't know if that was just adding more insult to injury, but in that moment, he like knocks Jennifer down, grabs a walker from nearby, and holds it over her. She's like, Felix, he was like, don't worry, I'm not going to kill you yet. I just wanted to know what it was going to feel like when I ultimately do. And it's like understandable. I mean, even Hope said like, oh, the moment Felix sees you, he's going to want to kill you. And yeah, he does. Like, after everything, knowing his home is gone because of you, he thought of you as a good friend. Like, probably like his best friend. You were like family. You were like one of his buddies. And to find out you've been lying to them the entire time, you're part of the people that wiped out Omaha, especially because Will gets in the way, so they, like, Percy doesn't kill her. So it's like, now he's exposed himself to her. Now she knows he's alive. And it's like, right, they try to kill me, and she's still in denial. And he's like, are you this ignorant, or are you just this stupid? Like, are you this blind, or are you this stupid and not to see things from going on, what's happening in front of you? So now things have changed for her. Even then, like, her mom at the end of the episode is giving that big speech about, like, oh, what it means, having lost Omaha. It's like, yeah, but Portland, listen, like, we're in this together. We might have lost one of our alliance, but let's keep this alliance strong, yada, 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 blah, 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 horseshit, right? And Huck is like, oh, yeah, so, what were the name of those people you got out of Omaha? It's like, yeah, but that's above your clearance. She's like, I just, don't. It's like, you're only just getting your position back after your massive screw up beforehand. Like, some people might think you haven't learned your lesson. And in that moment, like, Huck's realizing, like, right, they were right about her. Like, the fact that she won't even tell me this, because it's like, I'm not asking you, like, as a staff sergeant, I'm asking you as my mom. But it's like, yeah, her mom didn't want to hear it, because in her own weird way, she does love Jennifer, so she carries a lot of the burden so that Jennifer does it. But it's like, yeah, my love for you only goes so far. What's important is the mission. That comes first and foremost. So I think that was an order she got from top down, like General Bill, whoever he really is, or whoever that really is. She got that order, and so I don't think that was her own thing. I think she got ordered to do that, but the fact that she still won't tell her daughter because she knows her daughter's too. Because I think out of anything, she's like, right, my daughter can make some tough choices, but not the tough choices. So I have to be the one that carries that burden. So I think that's because she knows Jennifer. It's like, I know who you are at your heart. Like, that's why I refuse to tell you, because, like, you would try to find a different way. Like, despite what you did, yeah, you might have hurt people doing what you did with the whole Omaha situation, pretending, playing the role of Huck, befriending Hope and everything for, this ulterior motive, but it still doesn't. It's still not as bad as what ultimately ends up happening to Omaha. So of course, like, that's apples and oranges. So it's like, yeah, you caused a little harm and hurt on a personal level what you did. Obviously, what we have to do is going to hurt on a very personal level, on a physical level, as we wipe out an entire community. So that's not just a whole community, like entire city, the college, the campus, and everything. So I think that's why your mom's still just straight up just keeping her in the dark about it. So tying this all in, kind of, I brought him up earlier, but like luckily Will and Felix were able to stop Percy, which obviously for him it's like killing the empties. It's like, yeah, that's no problem. Like killing walkers is like, you know, he lost count, but killing a person, it's a little different. It's like he's never wanted something more in his entire life. And at the end of the day, it's like, are you glad that Will and Felix stopped you? And he was like, for him, it's like Huck can't be allowed to just walk about and not like repent and make up for what she did. Like she gets to just live her life after what she did. Like not just not just Omaha, but also like killing his uncle, you know, and almost killing him. It's like she shouldn't be able to just walk free for that. But he was like, I was so caught up in my revenge, I didn't think about Will, Felix, or even you, which I should have, like, because what I did could have screwed everything up. Luckily, they were able to stop me before things got out of hand. Him and Iris do kiss, but he kind of pulls away because I don't know whether it's like, he's like, I should leave. I think for him, it's like, right, we're just both not in a place where this should be happening right now. Like, obviously he likes her, but there's just so many other factors. I mean, hell, like, you had Huck just dropping, like, right, I know where Silas is. So she knows that Dennis doesn't know that Silas is there, but she does. So that's why I wasn't, because I know she's the one that suggested to her mom, like, oh, I know what to do with Silas. It's like, yeah, he's protected, he's in a good place. The fact that she also didn't let Dennis know speaks volumes, which we'll talk about Dennis and Silas later on, but because even Hope's like, yeah, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. And for her, it's like, right, it's just better. I guess in her mind, it's like, if you knew where he was, you would have asked to go visit him. It would have complicated things, especially considering, like, well, she talks about the complications, but it's like, well, she did frame him for murdering Percy's uncle, so would have been some contentious feelings would have come up if like she had to go with Hope to go like check on Silas. So it's like keeping him where he is, keeping you guys separate like this kind of benefits everything and everyone, because everything's a little complicated right now. If you are all together, it make matters a little harder, make matters a little worse. So understandable to some extent, kind of like there's just a lot of contributing factors to it. I was wondering whether or not Elton was actually going to talk to her, but it's like, well, he didn't. And I guess like Iris knew like it wasn't going to be that easy either. So it's like, right, admitting Elton's there would have also meant admitting that Percy's there, and that would have been a whole so didn't tell Hope that they're here, because that would have also worried Hope a lot, because it's like, right, she hasn't had a chance to really just talk to Elton after everything. So that conversation is going to happen eventually. It's just a matter of time. It's like their situation, like Hope and Elton's situation is super complicated. So what the way forward looks like in that, I don't know. It's not going to be the easiest thing to deal with. It's like real, like finding out when you've held on to this hope for so long that your mom and sister were out there, and just to find out like the person you've been traveling, like your friend, not only killed her but killed her years ago. Her and your sister have been dead for years. They died a little after the fall, but you've been holding out hope that they would still be alive after everything, you know? Especially because let's not forget, we did get Elton's backstory with his mom and his dad last season. Just, you know, he already knew his dad was gone, but that's why he held on so tightly, hoping like his mom was somewhere out there. And this world has shown that sometimes that belief and faith does pan out, and sadly other times, like Elton's case, it doesn't pan out, you know. So, but circling back over to Silas and Dennis, obviously, Dennis has got the other kids can kind of notice. It's like, man, why is Dennis such an asshole? It's like, yeah, with everything between him and Huck, it's like, yeah, he's just kind of very pissed off. But he ends up, because I love that, like, he throws something at Silas and Silas catches it and just like dropped it. And he was like, don't. And it's just like, I guess, like, he realized, like, right, he looks at Silas's hands, like, right, I'm being kind of a dick. And so he stitches up Silas's hands, like, yeah, move your fingers around so you can make sure that you're not you don't lose like sensation or whatever. So it's like, you're a big kid, so we're going to be like getting you out there in the field. Like, can't just have you running the music and stuff like that. We need you out there in the field, like, killing some dead and stuff. So, but Silas tried to leave because he was trying to track down the others, because especially in his mind, he's like, I don't know if they know about Huck or not, like, or whether they really know who they're rolling with. So he's worried about them. He doesn't know, like, if they're safe or not, because the last people he was in contact with was Elton and Percy, and even then it's like he doesn't know, like, if they know everything. So That's why, like, that's the last update they got at the time when they were with Silas, and so that's all Silas knows at this point. So he's worried about them. But the others like trap him down because it's like, yeah, Silas running off on his own is going to look badly upon them and screw up what they're trying to do. And so they lock him in a room with a whole bunch of dead. And Silas, being who he is, bat in hand, goes full Negan, swinging for the fences and takes down a whole bunch. Which the others are like, holy crap, we were just testing you, but it's good. Like, some of them are in there with no teeth. Who knows if all of them don't have teeth, or is it just the one's chain? It's probably all of them. But it's like, it's practice for them. And obviously it's like, yeah, but like, you know, we have each other's back. Like, you have our back, we'll have yours. Like, we're kind of in this together. Because if we do good work here, we get promoted and can go to like the CRM and stuff like that. Silas didn't like that too much and just like walks away covered in blood. It's like, I'm not down for your bullshit. Like, you locked me in here, you did all this, like, screw you guys. And as he's trying to pack up and leave, Dennis stops him. And obviously, it's like, where were you trying to go? He's like, my friends, like, Huck. And I love that Dennis is like, Huck. Man, just, you're worried about some battle axe named Huck or something like that. I love that. Which is because he doesn't know that. I mean, because why would he? Huck was given to, like, Jennifer because of the way they found her, like Huckleberry Finn, you know, that whole thing. So that's why they gave her the nickname. So that doesn't, you know, so why would he immediately, he wouldn't, because it's not a nickname that would, he'd call Jennifer or like know her by. So of course, like, it's probably not going to be until later that he hears someone refer to her as Huck. It's like, wait, what? Or what he goes like, yeah, that's, like, I don't know whether he's around Silas at one point. It's like, Huck. Wait, you know Huck? Wait, Huck. Wait, Jennifer's the Huck? You know, it's probably going to be that. I'm curious what the circumstances are going to be when that truth eventually comes to light. But it's like, right, you want to help your friends. Like, they're probably stronger than you think they are. But also, you can do so much. Like, what are you going to do? Find them out there, the big open world yourself? It's like, no, like, do good work. And then, you know, you can move up with the CRM and stuff. So this is your, like, you know, I need you to kind of step up going forward because one of the people is getting promoted. So it's like, I need you to kind of step up and be more out there in the field. So everyone gets like their warning, and this is yours, so don't screw up again. So, but Silas at the end shows that he is a part of the team. But interestingly enough, Will and Felix are trying to figure out how they handle this whole thing, because Felix is like, we got to go, because you know. But it's like, right, Huck can't say anything, because if she does, it's mutual destruction. And knowing where they are and everything would be admitting like that, you know, everything that they know, like, she hid. The fact is, knowing where they were, knowing what they know about the CRM and stuff. So, but ultimately, Will gets an idea of, like, using the facility that Silas is at to their advantage. Now, I don't know whether it's a thing of, oh, we're gonna. Now, I don't know whether that's because it's like, this is how we get everyone out. I don't know if they're planning on gathering all of the walkers and then using that to, like kind of leading the charge towards, like, a getting them to attack the CRM. I don't know if that's their plan, or it's like, I don't see them, like, potentially, like, showing up as like, oh, we're ready to be recruited. I don't know. I'm curious to see in the long run, like, what Will's plan is. We'll have to wait till the next episode to see. But we did get, you know, tying into all of this is, like, you know, that last thing we got in this episode was the whole thing with Jennifer, seeing, like, her relationship with her mom, of, like, obviously cutting her face, because everything she did was preparing, like, no, I got to do this, I got to make up, like, because everything is for her mom's love. Like, you know, it's like she want to make, it's because she believes in the mission, but also, like, she wants to make her mom proud. And now it's like, wait, the mission isn't fully what I thought it was. It's like, the CR isn't what I thought it was. My mom, she might be cold, she might be calculated, but man, she's not who I thought she was. And I've done everything I have been, you know, I let them break my arm, I cut myself in the face just because I wanted to, like, make up for the mistakes I made, and, you know, make you see me of, like, not as a screw up, but as your daughter, and be proud of me. And just to find out everything is just a test. Not only, you know, was Hope being tested in the premiere, it was her as well. And now finding out all the stuff about Omaha, it's definitely opening Huck's eyes to what she's been so blind to before now. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how all these moving pieces piece together, how everything plays out going forward into the next episode. But really, that's all I want to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.